On Monday, December 12, 2022, Stuart Margolin, a character actor arguably best known for playing James Garner's sidekick, Evelyn Angel Martin, on the hit 70s detective drama series The Rockford Files, passed away at age 82. The heartbreaking news was first delivered to us by Margolin's stepdaughter, Michelle Martini. In addition to his role on The Rockford Files, he was also known for bringing his manic and manipulative persona to the Blake Edwards movies S.O.B, which hit theaters in 1981, and 1986's A Fine Mess. Margolin appeared in dozens of other TV shows and films throughout his 4-decade-spanning career. In this video, we'll cover some of the most significant highlights of his Hollywood career, as well as some details about his personal life. So stick around as Facts First presents R.I.P. Stuart Margolin, James Garner's right-hand man has died. Margolin was born on January 31, 1940 in Davenport, Iowa. His parents were Gertrude and Morris Margolin, and he spent the bulk of his childhood in Dallas. He later admitted he was a bit of a troublemaker in his younger years. In fact, he once described his kid self as being a hoodlum. After being expelled from the Texas public school system, Stuart's parents shipped him off to a boarding school for wayward boys in Nashville. While attending, his family relocated to Scottsdale, Arizona. When he was released from the reform school and moved back in with his family, his parents arranged for him to attend private school. After finishing up his primary education, he moved to New York to live with his older brother Arnold, who was performing on Broadway at the time as a replacement actor in the original production of the play The Diary of Anne Frank. He then attended a summer theater camp in Steamboat Springs, Colorado. While there, he met Barney Brown, an actor, director, and instructor who had mentored folks like Gene Hackman, Robert Duvall, and Dustin Hoffman. Margolin went on to follow Brown to Southern California, where he was working at the Pasadena Playhouse. He spent the next couple of years studying and honing his craft there before returning to New York. He enjoyed a prolific TV and film career. Margolin made his screen debut in 1961, appearing in an episode of the CBS sitcom The Gertrude Berg Show. He then enjoyed a recurring role as a Navy man on NBC's Ensign O'Toole. In that series, he shared the screen with Dean Jones. After that, he kept himself busy, making numerous appearances in series like The Fugitive, 12 O'Clock High, Burke's Law, The Monkees, and Occasional Wife. On ABC's anthology comedy series Love American Style, Stuart joined an ensemble cast that included the likes of Phyllis Davis, Barbara Minkins, and James Hampton. He appeared weekly in several blackout sketches that joined the script segments together. Interestingly, Stuart's brother, Arnold Margolin, was one of the show's executive producers. He also co-wrote its theme song and served as one of the program's lead writers. His first major film role was in the 1970 war film Kelly's Heroes. He played Private Little Joe. He then shared the screen with the legendary James Caan in The Gambler in 1974. He made appearances in several episodes of MASH, as well as in films like 1976's Future World, the sequel to Westworld, and 1978's Days of Heaven. Most notably during this era of Margolin's career, he portrayed the recurring character Evelyn Angel Martin on NBC's The Rockford Files. Angel was a shifty fella who was friends with the series' lead character, Jim Rockford, played by Margolin's lifelong friend and frequent collaborator, James Garner. The two characters had formerly served time together in prison as cellmates. Angel's constant scheming usually ended up landing Rockford in a ton of hot water, but it's undeniable that the two characters shared a tremendous amount of chemistry. Margolin had previously worked with Garner in the Western series Nichols, which aired on NBC from 1971 to 72. He played a very similar character to Angel. The series only ran a single season, but that's all it took for the two actors to kick off a friendship and professional relationship that endured for decades. In the Rockford Files, Rockford would occasionally pay Angel to go out and, quote, hit the streets to sweep up intel. For his performance in the series, Margolin ended up winning 2 Primetime Emmy Awards for Outstanding Supporting Actor in a Drama Series, first in 1979, then again in 1980. Impressively, he's just one of 5 actors who have won this award twice for the same role. In 1969, Margolin co-produced and wrote an ABC television movie called The Ballad of Andy Crocker, proving his talents weren't limited to acting. The film was notable for being one of the first to deal with the subject of Vietnam vets returning home from the war. Not only did he write and co-produce the film, but he also penned its title music and made a brief, albeit uncredited, cameo appearance. Margolin later revisited the subject matter of the Vietnam War in 1977 when he had an uncredited role as a station wagon driver in the Jeremy Paul Kagan-directed film Heroes. In 1976, he portrayed Rabbi David Small in the film Lanigan's Rabbi. While the film inspired a short-lived TV series that aired in 1977, scheduling conflicts prevented him from reprising his role. Instead, the part went to Bruce Solomon. He also appeared in series like That Girl, The Mary Tyler Moore Show, Land of Giants, and Hill Street Blues. Later in his career, he also appeared on Touched by an Angel and in 2009, an episode of 30 Rock. In the latter, he appeared opposite Alan Alda. The two had previously appeared alongside each other in those episodes of MASH in 1974. He was also a director. Margolin directed numerous TV shows since the early 70s. Some of his most notable directorial credits were for episodes of The Mary Tyler Moore Show, The Love Boat, Magnum P.I., Quantum Leap, and Northern Exposure. Not only did he act in both the original series as well as the TV movie versions of the Rockford Files, he also directed several episodes. In 1996, Margolin won the DGA Award for Children's Programming for directing the movie Saltwater Moose. He was nominated again in 1998 for directing the film The Sweetest Gift. He was additionally nominated for a DGA Award for Drama Series Direction for his work directing a 1991 episode of Northern Exposure called Goodbye to All That. He was a decent songwriter and singer. Margolin wrote several songs for his close friend Jerry Riopelle. Many of his songs have been featured on the singer-songwriter's albums since 1967. The two first started working together when Riopelle started his band, The Parade, in the late 60s. With that project, they collaborated on many songs, and Margolin even played percussion on a handful of tracks. In 1969, the two teamed up with Shango member Tommy Reynolds to record Shango's Caribbean-inspired novelty record Day After Day, It's Slippin' Away. The track peaked at number 57 on the US Billboard charts and number 39 in Canada. Riopelle ended up having a long-running musical career, releasing 8 albums between 1971 and 82. On each of these albums, at least one song was co-written by Margolin. Likewise, Margolin released a solo album, And the Angel Sings, in 1980. It featured several new interpretations of compositions that Margolin and Riopelle had worked previously on together. He was a devoted husband and father. Margolin got married to Patricia Dunn Martini in 1982. Martini had 3 children to whom Margolin became stepfather, Max Martini, Michelle Martini, and Christopher Martini. All 3 went on to find success in the entertainment industry in various capacities. Stuart's older brother is also a noteworthy name in show business. Arnold Margolin is an Emmy-winning director, producer, and writer, best known for his work with Love American Style. Margolin, his wife, and stepkids lived in British Columbia, Canada, on an island called Salt Spring Island for the better part of 2 decades. He later moved to Staunton, Virginia, where he passed away of natural causes on December 12, 2022. Stuart Margolin may not be the best-known name in Hollywood, but there's no denying the impact he had on the industry. Now it's time to hear from you. What's your favorite memory of Stuart Margolin? Let us know in the comments section below.